The grease never left his hands. Even now, with his fingers moving across the engine block like it was written in Braille, Sam Parker's hands carried 12 years of oil and metal under the skin. He couldn't see the engine in front of him. He hadn't seen anything in 12 years. But he didn't need eyes to know that something underneath that hood was lying to everyone who could see it perfectly fine. "Sir, with respect," the police officer said, his voice tight, "I need this car running today. Not next week. Today." Behind them, a small crowd of regulars stood with their arms crossed, watching like they always did when something interesting happened at Parker Auto Repair. A few of them exchanged glances. They'd seen this before. They knew what was coming. But the officer didn't. "I understand, Officer Daniels," Sam said quietly. "Give me 10 minutes before you decide I can't." Daniels exhaled, checked his watch, and stepped back. 3 other mechanics had already turned this engine away that morning. Good mechanics. Mechanics with 2 working eyes and steady diagnostic tools. They'd run every test the shop had. Nothing showed up. No codes. No. So somebody, half joking, mentioned the blind guy in the back bay. "He's good," the shop owner had said. "Better than good. Just let him work." Daniels hadn't believed it. Nobody really did, not at first. A blind man fixing engines sounded like a kind story you'd tell a kid, not something you trusted with your actual job, your actual safety. But Sam had already lowered his head close to the engine, listening. That was the thing people never understood about him. He didn't fix cars with his eyes anymore. He fixed them with everything else. The smell of burnt oil told him things a multimeter couldn't. The rhythm of an idle told him a story long before any code appeared on a screen. He'd lost his sight in an accident more than a decade ago, a result of an electrical fire while working underneath a vehicle, the details of which he rarely shared with anyone. For a long time after, he believed his career, the only thing he was ever good at, was over. It was an old man named Walt, the previous owner of this very shop, who refused to let that happen. "Hands remember what eyes forget," Walt used to tell him, guiding Sam's fingers across an engine, teaching him to listen to compression and feel for hesitation in a way most mechanics never bothered learning. Walt gave him a job nobody else would, a future nobody else offered. Walt passed away 3 years ago, but everything Sam did now, every car he touched, carried a piece of that kindness forward. If you believe small acts of kindness can still change someone's entire life, like a job nobody else would give, drop a like and subscribe right now, because what happens next in this story is going to remind you why that belief matters. Sam's fingers moved along a wiring harness tucked behind the intake manifold. Something felt different here. Not broken, not frayed. Wrong. "This wiring," Sam said slowly, "this isn't factory." Daniels frowned. "It's a department vehicle. It's supposed to be stock. It's not anymore." The crowd shifted closer. Even the men with their arms crossed leaned in. Sam traced the wire with 2 fingers, feeling a splice that had been tucked and hidden with almost professional care. Whoever did this hadn't wanted it found by looking, only by feeling. "Somebody added something to this car," Sam said, "recently, and whoever did it knew exactly how to hide it from anyone checking with their eyes." Daniel's face changed. Something behind his expression shifted from frustration to alarm. "Define added," he said. "A second relay, wired into your ignition system. It's small, it's quiet, and it's positioned to cut power at random intervals, just enough to make this look like an electrical fault instead of what it actually is." The shop went silent. "Someone wanted this car to fail," Sam said. "Not destroy it, just disable it. At unpredictable moments. Stay with me, because the biggest moment of this story hasn't happened yet, and what Officer Daniels does next is going to change how you see every person you've ever underestimated." Daniels stepped closer, his voice low now, almost shaking. 2 weeks ago, Internal Affairs opened a case. Evidence tied to corruption inside our precinct. I'm the one who reported it. He looked at the hood, then at Sam. "If this car had stalled during the wrong call," he said, "I might not be standing here right now." Nobody moved. Sam said nothing. He simply reached back into the engine, found the hidden relay with steady fingers, and held it up, small, ordinary-looking, and quietly dangerous. "Whoever installed this," Sam said, "wanted it found by no one. Except you," Daniels said. For the first time that morning, the men with crossed arms uncrossed them. Daniels took the relay carefully, like evidence, because that's exactly what it was. He looked at Sam. Really looked at him. The way people do when understanding finally outweighs assumption. I almost didn't bring it to you, Daniels admitted. I'm sorry. Sam just nodded, the way a man does when he's heard that sentence before and learned not to need it. Walt always said. Sam replied quietly, hands remember what eyes forget. The crowd didn't speak. They didn't need to. 3 days later, the department issued a quiet commendation, not for catching the tampering itself, but for the integrity of the investigation it protected. Daniels made sure Sam's name was part of that story, spoken aloud in a room full of people who once doubted him. Sam never asked for recognition. He never needed it. But somewhere, in a small shop that still smelled like oil and second chances, a blind mechanic kept working with his hands, proving, one engine at a time, that sight was never really the thing that mattered most. If this story moved you, even a little, subscribe for more, because the most powerful stories are still the ones nobody expects.